Well, good morning everybody, welcome to Bali. The connection isn't so brilliant today, so if it keeps dropping in and out, I apologise, not my issue. Strange days indeed. Many weird things are happening. I don't know if anybody's noticed. Lots of changes coming through. One where we have to be aware of the changes that are coming. Humanity is not really used to changes because we're a little bit like rabbits. We like to do the same thing every day, go on the same run, keeps us comfortable and safe. But definitely something that we have to be aware of. I definitely think many changes are coming ahead, many changes ahead. Can't speak too loud because there's people close by. Maybe I should move. If I move though, I'll go out into the open and there's a lot more wind. Maybe that's the best place to go.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Let's give it a try, shall we? People by the pool. So we're outside, however, there is wind, and I know this, I don't actually know about this camera actually. Is this camera very, very sensitive to wind? Can you hear the wind? The the other camera was really sensitive to wind. So in there's no wind. Out here there's wind, which is better. Which is better. Good morning, everybody. Hiya. Hello. Konnichiwa. Arigato. Sayonara. Buongiorno. Come stai? Bene? Sì? Molti bene. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bien? Sí? Perfecto. Ah, lizards are everywhere. Little lizards. And big lizards. The views are breathtaking. God, they really are. They're breathtaking. How can you not just not feel the tranquility and the essence of being in a peace when you're around peace? What is peace? Green. Green is the colour of peace, as I keep saying, and with the green brings in a peace. That's in my book, my new book coming out. So yeah, can you hear the wind, or can you hear me? Is there a lot of wind noise which is putting you off from hearing my dribble, my talk? Sorry. Lizard eye, yeah. I mean, there's a lizard just, hang on a minute, just there. Just where my finger is there. There's a lizard there. See if I can home in on it and see if you can see it. Oop, baby, oh there, look, he's moving. He must have, he don't like the camera. Oh no, he's there. Where are you? I've just seen him. He's there somewhere. There he is. Down slowly. Tilt it up a little bit. There he is. That, I know the camera's not very good, but that's a lizard. Right there. Looks like, yeah, he's not moving, so it just looks like on the screen it doesn't look like there's a lizard, but there is. That's a lizard, and he's playing around with his throat. Looks like his tongue or something. Saw a massive lizard yesterday. Anyway, that beautiful. I just wanted to show you that. That lizard actually spread its body out and jumped across from that tree to that tree. Literally jumped across, and he floated across, and his body went into like a parachute. Jesus Christ, things that you learn here. Flying lizard. And then you've got all your swifts or the swallows, either or. They're flying around all day long. Just beautiful. So yeah, working on my book. Gone through all the colours now. Very happy with the write-up for all the colours. That's great. Introduction's fantastic. Now moving on to the chapters of the flower. So the chapters are the stem, the roots, the petals, the inside. I can't remember what the inside's called again. Too complicated for me. But yeah, everything. and then we go into great detail. So it's fabulous. I'm just waiting for Arlene to send me the next chapters so I can read through them again. But what a beautiful place to read through them. Somebody said to me that they'd heard from somebody else that walking in the wind isn't good for your body. And to a degree I kind of understand that, but I also think it is good for your body because it clears away the cobwebs. I actually like riding a bike. I actually love riding a motorbike. I actually love riding in a car with the top down, and I don't feel sick. I don't feel like I've lost something. I don't feel like I'm exhausted. I really don't. So it's just like health and well-being. Everybody's so different. You can't just categorize one, this is bad for you, this is good for you. No, no, no. There's some people who are made of steel, solid steel inside and out, for sure. I talked about it with Chef Lynn. I've got a best friend who I talk about, and if there was one person who eats mainly a diet that would probably kill anybody before they got to 40, it would be him. But I believe that it's true. There are people out there who are just made of steel inside, and it doesn't matter what they put inside them, it does not affect their health one freaking bit. So there are some people made up like that. So in the case of, spirituality, in the case of health and well-being, all the notion of all of these things need to work together. It does for a lot of us, but not for all of us. And that's something that, one thing I have noticed about myself, and I mentioned it to Lynn, is that prior to, I don't want to put a damper on anybody and make people feel like, oh, well, friggin' hell, Mark, you told us to do this, but I still don't want to go back to it, and that is health. I eat healthy, I don't touch sugar, keep well away from it, but what I have noticed is the more I keep away from sugar, the more it affects me when it's in food. I literally get lesions in my tongue, and I can feel my tongue as soon as somebody says that there's no sugar in the food, and I know there's sugar in the food because I can feel my tongue starting to get lesions in there. And I mentioned it to Lynn. She says, oh, absolutely, that is absolutely true. And she was mentioning a headache. She gets like this weird feeling in her head straight away, and I said I get it in my tongue. I can feel it in my tongue soon as somebody has put sugar into food. Like here in Bali, guys, just don't come to Bali if you are intolerant of sugar, because I swear to God, if you are not on form, if you are not thinking 24/7 when it comes to drinking and eating, they're going to shove sugar in your food. They're just going to shove it in. It's like I've had to tell them 3 times to take it back. I mean, why would you need to put fresh orange juice? Why would you need to put sugar in that? They do. And it's not because of anything other than it's what they're used to. They just do it. And oh my God, they use MSG in everything here. Monosodium glutamate. They use it in everything, just like Chinese. They just throw it in everything. So you've just got to be so careful here. So, and it doesn't matter where you eat. You can eat at the 5-star restaurant. You can eat at Warang. They'll throw it in, and they'll say they're vegetarian. They'll say, oh yeah, we're vegan. They'll still throw sugar in, because that's not classed as any disruption to being vegan. Well, it actually is, because it's unhealthy and it's not good for you. But that's the way it is here. So it's always been the problem. if you are somebody who wants to stay away from rat poison, which I call sugar, and it is, it's more deadlier than anything you can eat, in my humble opinion. And if you want a longer lifespan, and if you want to keep illness at bay, then I truly believe it's not good for you. And you could argue back and say, well, 6 million people take it every day, and I would say, well, that's right. Well, they're not all dead then, are they? Well, no, but then I've got a counter argument to that. How come everybody's got cancer now? It's nearly 1 to 1. It's 2 to 1. So every two people who sit next to you, one of them is going to get cancer in their lifetime. So there's my argument. That's why everybody's got cancer, because they're filling themselves with sugar. And let me tell you, in Bali, it is rife. There are so many locals. The Balinese, cancer is number 2. Number 1 is pharmaceutical drugs that kill you first, and then it's cancer. So what is cancer? I think it's a combination of sugar, and I think it's also a combination of your life and what you're doing with your life. If you're happy with your life, if you're not happy with your life, then the combination of the two can certainly bring something to a real toxic ball or lump or bag inside your body. The combination isn't good. But then again, like I said, there's some people who are built like, solid steel inside, and you can throw whatever you want inside and it's just doesn't affect them at all. They live a happy life. So good for them. I didn't end up with one of those bodies, but I guess if I did, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be talking about the things that I talk about, and I certainly wouldn't be the healer that I was for 2 decades, because I'd have just been getting on with life. The fact that I had irritable bowel syndrome terribly all my life, keeps going on and off. It comes a point in life when you get so sick and you get to the age where you can question yourself and start to look at your life and start to figure out, why am I always in pain? What's going on? What can I do about it? And that's when you try and fix yourself. So I am glad of irritable bowel syndrome. I'm glad of the suffering that I went through losing my mum at 12 and my dad's abuse all my life. I'm glad of all of that. It's made me who I am, to be able to share information and to be able to receive information, because it was beneficial to me, because I wanted to feel better. So only when you get slapped across the face when you actually get up and do something about it. Very few people who just generally do it because of the impulse and the feeling and the urge. It's normally because they've been kicked up the arse, or a really big slap across the face, shock. So that's really interesting. And to spend 20 years in a room healing people every day for an hour and 20 minutes, thousands of clients, you learn a few things, even though there's a lot of nut jobs out there, a lot of knob heads out there who, have no respect for anything other than, attacking because they're, well, without knowing they're monsters. They're just literally those that prey upon other people because of jealousy and anger and bitterness, and there's so many of them now. So many of them. You don't know how many times I've been called a shill or a gatekeeper. Well, you know what, pal? Yeah, I am a gatekeeper. You're bloody right, I'm a gatekeeper, keeping people away. That's what I am. Keeping you away, you knobheads away, who call me all sorts. I keep you away. I'm stood by that gate telling you to get stuff. No, you're not welcome in here, on your bike. Yeah, I am a gatekeeper. Keeping our friends and our flock, our kind, safe from the wolves, the monsters. I'm gonna expose you, you gatekeeper. Fucking hell. Oh. And then you wonder why people get shot. And it's always the good people who get killed by absolute monsters. Absolute monsters. I have another theory as well. They don't care about prison because that's what they're used to. That energy is what they're used to. They're used to being locked up. They used to be in the dark. They used to be in that negative energy. They used to abuse and all that. So they like it in prison. They don't want to come out. In fact, they probably want to go into prison. Those that are safe in there and don't feel bad about prisons, I often wonder, I like, like you meet people and they don't like animals and you think, I don't trust you. If you don't like animals, I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. I'm sorry, that's the way I am, right? I'm very much the same when people say that they went to prison and it was no problem. I was strong enough, I coped with it. No, mate, that doesn't make sense. I'm not sure you really are like me because anybody who's confined in four walls goes crazy. And if they're sensitive, they would break. They would feel terrible. So I have a different outlook to that. I had a friend once, right, and I always knew he was it was devious and dark, and he wasn't really a friend, he was an acquaintance. And he ended up going into prison and he absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved every moment of it. And I thought, well, respect, at least he admits it. At least he admits that's what he likes. He likes that energy in there. He likes the abuse. He likes the all of that stuff. Yeah, because that's who he is. Certainly won't take a shower with him. That's a fact. But yeah, we mix amongst them, and we have to understand that we are different from monsters. Those that spend all their day attacking innocent people. Yeah, it keeps going on and off. Yeah, well, Alzheimer's is a massive thing because of the chemicals that they're spraying over us every day, chemicals that we intake through the non poison, yeah, the poison foods that they give humanity every day. Counteract that is something that I used to say to my clients many years ago. Every time I worked on somebody with Alzheimer's, I always saw coconut, and I always say eat coconuts, eat coconuts, eat coconuts, and what could be more powerful than eating raw coconut oil? So 2 tablespoons every day. Drink plenty of water. So when we're receiving message from the universe, we try and understand what that means. And I think it's a case of every day, every morning, 2 tablespoons of raw coconut. Drink plenty of water through the day, and I noticed a massive impact on my clients when they did that, and their wives or their husbands were absolutely overjoyed. Um, did it reverse it? It didn't reverse it, but the percentage of awareness came back at least 30%, at least 30%. But the problem is, most people don't follow through these things. They might do it for a week or a month, or they might forget to drink water, or it's a daily thing. How many people remember to drink water in a day? So if you can't even get people to drink water in a day, what the frigging hell chance have you got to ask somebody to take a protocol, which means that they have to do 5 things a day? It's like, no, I can't do that. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm too busy. Or, I haven't time. I haven't got the money. I haven't got the patience. I don't want to do it anymore. I feel a lot better, so I don't need to do it anymore. There's so many excuses. We all have so many excuses all the time. I mean, I used to go to the gym relentlessly. And when I was a teenager, 17, I used to be able to pump more iron than most people, big guys, because I was there 7 days a week. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I think 29 and 30, up to 32. I was at the gym nearly every day. So now I'm 50 odd years old, coming close to 60. I'm back at the gym again. Right, I need to go to the gym. So every night now, I'll be at the gym, just pumping some iron. I like it, I enjoy it, but it's just you've got to have the mindset to get your ass up, because it's so easy not to do things. And you can see that on general social media. If you've got a website, any excuse not to click on a button, is that what stops businesses? So that's why most businesses look at trying to get down the clicks to 2, 3 most of all. So if you see a product you like, you only want to be able to click on it 3 times, or else you're bored and you don't want to do it anymore. How many times did you go to buy something and just couldn't be asked? Actually, that's a good thing, because most products are bullshit anyway, and you're just buying it for the sake of buying it. It's crap. Look at all the crap now. I'm the same. I bought a rug because it popped up. It looked beautiful. I thought, okay, I'm going to get that rug and say anything write anything you want in that rug. And I'm like, okay, shoes and egos outside. So I got a doormat what says shoes and egos outside, because I've got a great meme that says that. It came about 4, 5, 6 weeks later. I forgot about it actually. It might have been in 2 months. And it was absolutely shite. It was cheap. It was naff. It was I just throw it in the bin. I don't know what I did with it. I just shoved it aside and thought, it just teaches you a lesson. Good products are hard to get. They really are. And everybody tends to measure cheap shit to good quality and get upset and say, your prices are too much. Well, you keep buying your shite. That doesn't work. There you go. If you want good things, if you want good products, they cost. It costs to manufacture, it costs to get them. Just giving you an idea, my cleansing negative energy sticks, it costs. It ain't cheap, but it's fantastic and it's healing. Sage, love sage. I love sage. I had sage tea last night. Fabulous. Before I went to sleep. Fabulous. Natural sage. It's very windy now, guys. The wind's picking up. I appreciate that. I've never been one to, bullshit. My products are not cheap. I spend a lot of time working on my products. A lot of time. That's why I'm not exhausted, but I love doing the work. But it takes, I'm not just buying shit from China and selling it on the internet like 99% of people are. So, and I don't get discouraged when people say bad things about my website, saying you overpriced. What I say to them is, let me send you a piece of jewellery as a gift. I'm not angry with them. I know there's nothing to be angry about. It's just most people just can't put the pieces together. They don't have the intelligence to stop and think. They don't have the patience to stop and think about it. Like, why is that? Why is that more money? What does it do? Well, most people don't give a shit. They just see it and then they call you and that's it. But that's okay. They're not the clients that I want anyway. And I've always said this. I like to look at my monthly report on WordPress, and repeat clients is always about 83.7 to 90. I think we went up to very close to 95, I think. I can't remember now, but it's normally the worst it's been is like 60, 62, and that's when I did a launch of a product, and then everybody shared it, so then we got a lot of new clients. But predominantly, if you look at my analysis over the year, it's normally 80%, and that's freaking amazing. Nobody in the industry of sales and marketing, when they look at that, they go, I've never seen that before. Because people rely on advertising to get new people to buy their shite that won't buy it again. And then they say, you have a fantastic business, you must have a good product. And I'm like, yes, somebody understands this, somebody appreciates it, somebody gets it. If you've got 80% returning clients, what does that tell you? That the product works. And it did for me in my little tiny room, that I only have a few products and a few crystals that I worked with and oils and incense. They worked because I spent a lifetime trying shit products that didn't work, that were dangerous, that were toxic. And then when you find something and you blend or create and you go, okay, this works, and your clients come back and say, I want more, give me 10 more bags of them, give me 4 more packets of them, can you do me a year supply, I want another crystal like this from my brother, it worked for me, I want it for my brother. That is true. That's the true nature of a healthy and like a family run business, you know. And there's not many anymore. There's not many because people want cheap. Oh, well, I can get it cheaper. Get it cheaper then. Go for it. Nobody's stopping you. Just don't get angry with me. It's getting windy now. That's why I couldn't call. I realised they don't come to me here. Do you know why they don't come to me? Because they've got a rrrr, and I don't have a. Oh, I do. Oh, just made a. If I practiced, I could get that right. No goldfinch here, so it won't work. But if I listened hard enough. Can't do that one. Such beautiful wildlife here, guys, and all the little swallows or swifts are flying right next to me. They're basically flying right by me. I'm trying to copy the birds. Dad taught me that. Yeah, it wasn't all that bad. He used to teach me he only taught me because he wanted to paint them. So we had a trap, right? We had a trap, and it was made of bent wood and netting, and we'd put the food there, and he'd he'd make me sit down in a corner in the grass over in the corner. He would be over by the door with a long string, and then he'd make me sing for goldfinch. So I used to, and he made me practice, and then I go, and if there's a goldfinch coming by, he hears that, and then he stops, and then he sees the food goes down. He'd catch the bird, put it in the cage, and he'd paint it. So we might have a goldfinch for 3 or 4 days, or maybe longer. It might be a week, and then he lets it go again. But that was my dad. That's how he painted goldfinch, because he was an artist. And I used to love the sound of the goldfinch, but I always felt really depressed seeing the goldfinch. And I used to say to him, doesn't it have a wife? Oh, shut up. That was his. That was my dad's. It was either rage or silence. Oh, shut up. Yeah. But you learn. You get the best things out of your family, out of your parents, don't you? Sometimes you get the worst things, which was my temper. I used to have a temper like my dad, and I had to work on clearing it. And it obviously passed through to my son and my daughter, because they're both champion fighters. My son is a black belt jiu-jitsu, one of the strongest men my brother was my brother was a fist fighter. That's because it was brought up that way because of my dad. I never got half as much as my brother, but I got it bad enough, so nobody messed with Ricky, my brother. And then my daughter became a champion Muay Thai fighter. She teaches Muay Thai in London. And my son, became one of the youngest black belt jiu-jitsu fighters in the UK, and he's solid. So they got it from somebody, but they're both really, really kind people. My daughter's the kindest, sensitive soul in the world, but get her in a ring, and she's different. And same with my son. He's got so much respect for people and kindness, and very, very, he's not an angry man. He doesn't, he's had guys come up to him in the car and wanting to beat him up, and nah, mate, it's okay. If you want to come to, I remember that was a funny one. This big guy pulled up at side of him because he was being an idiot in the car, and then wanted to fight my son. And my son said, look, okay, follow me, so we'll go fight over here. So they followed him to his gym, and he says, okay, come in. He says, what are you doing? He says, well, you want to fight, we might as well do it on the mats. He says, what you opening the door? He says, yeah, I'm the owner. Oh, no, I don't want to fight, mate. No, I don't want to fight, mate. No, you're all right. It's all right. Yeah, funny. That was funny. All right. Anyway, I'm very much not into fighting, but yeah, sometimes you have to protect yourself from absolute knobheads. So, I prefer healing people and making them feel better. That's what I prefer doing. I prefer helping people. I lived a life up till this moment where I actually believed that we could heal the world. And it didn't. And it took me a good 20 years to realise that not everybody's the same, and not everybody wants healing. Some people come from a place where they want pain and suffering and war and abuse. That's their energy. And it's taken me this long to truly be aware of everything in that energy, and that's why we have the so-called satanic rituals where they murder babies and rape children. It's not satanic, it isn't evil, it's just these people, these consciousness what lies within these bear suits come from a different place than you and I. And it's that simple. And it's something that won't ever be spoke about, because they hide behind the fact that they're an MP, or they're a paedophile, or they're a priest, or they're this and they're that. And you can then say, oh yeah, all priests are paedophiles, or politicians are bad, or so you can use that label to throw you away from the real truth. And that is, it's nothing to do with any of that. It's just what resides within that body is not the same as you and I. And if the world knew this, we could identify them and say, these are monsters. These are what feed from us, feed from you, feed from your children. That's what they want. Too much, too heavy, too deep. Shut up, Mark. And that's the way it is. So there you go. That's my morning chat. I did say that I would always continue to speak this truth till the day I die, and I will speak this truth. No matter where I am and who I'm talking to, I'll always talk about this, that they're not like us. So now it might just give you an understanding, a new understanding, when you go, shit, they're not like me. Because most people just continue their day and pretend that wars don't exist, paedophiles don't exist, because they're like us. It's the greatest deception of mankind. It really is. It's the greatest deception. It really is. Don't, for God forbid, ever come up with an idea like mine, because now that you have that idea, the world might change, because you realise what's really happening and who these monsters are that reside within these spacesuits. You know, if you ever look at these monsters, they always have to show us who they are, and they always have to show us what they are, and they always have to show us what they are planning on doing. So just take Lord of the Rings. Okay, you've got these spacesuits with pointy ears and short and fat people, and then you've got these monsters that look disgusting, and all they want to do is feed on man flesh, and they're just monsters. And there's, you know, different types of monsters, but you can see they're monsters. So the good fight the bad. So they're showing themselves as monsters. This is who we are. We are the monsters of Sauron, and we fight the pure, the love, the kindness. It's there. It's in black and white. It's there in our faces. And when you're a healer, you get to understand this, the subtle energy of consciousness, of there's, you know, there's not just you and I that come from the spirit world. There's lots of different worlds out there in this universe, and there's lots of different consciousnesses that reside within these spacesuits. But the ones I talk about are the ones that feed from your suffering, that feed from your illness, that feed from your sorrow, that feed from your fear, that feed from accidents, that feed from wars. That's what I'm talking about. That feed from greed, that feed from lies and manipulations, that feed from anything that you create as a negative energy. They will feed from. You're a battery life to them. So they're going to make you sick. They're going to make you fearful. They're going to say bad things to you to make you vibrate at the frequency that they suck out of you. So the next time you're with somebody and they start making you feel bad, no matter what they do, just think about what Marky Mark said. You never know. You never know. I'm talking about those ones who do it deliberately. I'm not talking about people talking about things that are bad. I'm talking about the ones who deliberately maliciously stand on you, hurt you, say bad things about you, and somebody else said it, and like, you're a malicious, nasty piece of work. I don't care whether you're my family or not. You're not like me. Stay away, because I'm not feeding you anymore. There you go. All right, guys, swing it around. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. It was great chatting with you. Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you that beautiful image before I go. Take care, everybody. I just before I forget, I just worked on some. Just before I left, I worked on some aquamarine, really high quality aquamarine. I got them polished, and I decided to collect set them, and some are really vibrant, and some people like the duller effect, the more, I don't know, lighty cloudy blue effect. So I bought, I think, 10 pieces. Bought 10 pieces. I've had them, I can't remember how long, months and months. So I worked on them and then sent them to Bali and got them back. And I uploaded them just before I left. So they're going to be on Mark Bajerski store page sometime later today, maybe in about 5 hours, something like that. But very special. If you like aquamarine and you want to treat yourself to a piece, I've got 10 and they're absolutely freaking awesome. Me, I prefer the very vibrant blue, really high gem quality. So yeah, enjoy them. Enjoy them. I hope you like them. And that's it. I'm just working on the book now. Special offers are up. So as promised, I made some special offers, a healing special offer kit, a love kit, which lots of rose quartz involves, and a beautiful dream catcher in rose quartz. They've all been worked upon, every single sphere that goes into the dream catchers I've worked on, as many of you remember. So I hope you appreciate that as well. And the oil, the heart oil, heart healing oil, that was, I just got a new canister from France just before I left and made the new heart oil, healing heart oil. It's called Golden Heart. And yeah, just that little canister was €7,000 just for the little canister like that, because it's Yasmin Absolute. I mean, it's a fortune. And I actually added into one jar of oil, I think nearly all of it. You imagine the amount of Yasmin that's gone into my oil. It's like nobody else does that. Nobody. they might do a fraction of it. So it's strong and it's beautiful. Well, and oh yeah, my new um, my new oil. I mean that was obviously um, my new mix was obviously inspired by Don Tolman's. I just finished with Don Tolman's Golden Relief. I made about 250 bottles before I left, and of course I use natural gold, 100% natural gold from Italy. And the next oil I was working on was abundance oil, and I kind of started afresh. Ylang ylang again. I bought a new canister from France, so I used all of that. And then I thought, why don't I put gold in it? I mean, it's abundance. It makes sense. So I did, and it's still the same price. So I hope you appreciate that. Yeah, I think I did some good stuff before I left. Really, really pleased with what I did. I felt really bloody brilliant. And gosh, everybody, I brought 6 or 7 here, and Don Tolman loves it. Donnell loves it. Um, I've got some from Ole when I see him on Saturday, and I've got him a nice crystal, pyrite crystal. So and got everybody else a crystal too. So they all appreciated it, I think. So there you go. I am going. Have a lovely day. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing. It's so beautiful here. It's so tranquil. Take care. All right. I'll see you tomorrow or tonight.